The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the time Zelda revolutionized a genre for like the third or fourth time. The first Zelda did its thing, and then A Link to the Past did its thing, and then Ocarina of Time did its thing, then Breath of the Wild did its thing. And I remember seeing that reveal trailer and thinking, hell yeah, this finna be fire. I can't wait to play this on my Wii U. Then news went silent for like 10 years or something. Nah, this was another Kingdom Hearts 3 moment for me. The wait wasn't as long, but like, it still sucked. Zelda isn't my favorite game franchise, but I think it's my second. I'm not gonna go into too much detail about how much Zelda means to me because I'm gonna save that for when I review my favorite Zelda game. Anyway, back to Breath of the Wild. This is the reason I bought a Switch. That's probably why a lot of people got one in the beginning, because I mean, everybody was playing this game. I enjoyed my time with it, but I'm a Zelda old head. I felt this game was lacking on a lot of Zelda staples. I miss the themed dungeons and temples, the music, shit like that. The other day I was just chilling, right? Thinking, what should I review next? Then I remembered Tears of the Kingdom is coming out like a week from when I started writing this. I was like, I'm too broke to get the new one, so I'll settle for the old. Y'all gonna have to settle for the old too. I mean, I'll get Tears of the Kingdom in like 10 years when Nintendo finally decides to put a 5% sale on the game. Anyway, yeah, let's see if I'm still a Zelda old head or if I'm a Zelda new head now. So Link wakes up, Zelda has a voice now, and she's British. Link is naked, but not really. Then we do that iconic ass look into the distance to see the whole map. Then we're released into the first main spot, the Great Plateau. Honestly, I think this might be one of the best tutorial spots I've ever played through, and the thing is, it doesn't even feel like a tutorial spot. Let's go over why. So after that cool shot, you see this old man, but just by his character design, you can tell, he's someone important. We see our main threat, Calamity Ganon, and if I were Link, I would not decide to destroy that just because some random voice told me, but Link does have the Triforce of Courage, so I guess he has no choice. The old man turns out to be the old king of Hyrule, and he tells us the tragedy of what happened 100 years ago. Basically, they found old relics and the divine beast. Then they had to prepare for the return of Ganon. They had these 4 people, Link and Zelda, but Ganon showed up and played everyone. This motherfucker took over all of the old robots and destroyed everyone. So yeah, this takes place like 100 years after all that went down. The plateau teaches us a lot of important stuff that's going to be useful the whole game. It teaches us that if you explore, you will get rewarded for it. But exploring isn't all fun in games. You got enemy camps. Since this is the beginning of the game, the enemies aren't so tough, but already the game is showing us that if you're creative, there's multiple ways to destroy your enemies. Another thing it teaches you is to look out for the weather conditions. There's a cold area that you have to go to, and if you're not properly prepared, you'll freeze to death. This is where cooking comes into play. In the plateau area, you get what replaces traditional items and how you get them. Basically, you get access to all the important items just off the tutorial, off the rip. You gotta do the shrines though, so I guess there's some work to do first. You get the magnet, 2 types of bombs, the ability to freeze time, and the ability to create ice blocks on water. Magnet lets you pick up metal objects, bombs lets you blow shit up, the time ability lets you stop an object and lets you launch an object. Ice lets you, make ice. So the Great Plateau introduces all of these mechanics, but does it in a way that lets you know this is just the basics. I gave you these abilities, now figure out what to do with them. I don't know, I just think this was a really good way to introduce us to Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now let's fly. Now that we're free to go literally wherever we want, we go to this game's, I guess, first major-ish village, which is Kakariko. Oh no. Not them. Please, I need to beat the game. I can't keep getting distracted because I see these damn little puzzles everywhere. They are useful though. You bring the seeds to this bigger version, and he upgrades your weapon, shield, and bow inventory, so I guess I have to collect them. Anyway, we finally make it to our first real town, Kakariko. Now, Kakariko Village is a classic, making its first appearance in Link to the Past. Everyone is doing their thing, and you got some shops and shit. Really makes the town feel lively. Impa is old as fuck and basically tells us where the Divine Beasts are. She's like, please, Zelda's been waiting for like 100 years for you, but Link's like, who cares? I got 5-star meals to make. I want to take a moment to talk about the combat. So Zelda isn't really known for having crazy combat or anything. Breath of the Wild does, however, step it up a bit. It's still nothing too crazy, but it's pretty fun. Something that also adds to the combat is the different weapons Link can use. Usually Link would only have like a sword and shield as his main weapons, but in this game, Link can use small swords, big swords, axes, boomerangs, wands, spears, fucking sticks. Yeah, needless to say, you got a lot of options here. You can also use a bow and different types of arrows. You can use your shield to parry, and if you dodge at the right time, you can use an attack called Flurry Rush. A complaint I have, and I think a lot of other people had this complaint too, but the weapons break way too damn fast. I get it, so you can't just like use the same weapon the whole game, but all I'm saying is in Tears of the Kingdom, I hope the durability is up a bit. So this game's story has to be looked for. You have to go out of your way. They're not just gonna like feed it to you, you know what I mean? Zelda took old ass pictures on her Sheikah slate, and those areas you can find while exploring, and they show Link's past and shit, helping him get his memory back. Now the game's world is probably one of the best open worlds I have ever played. I think the developers said they wanted to make Breath of the Wild like the very first Zelda game. You can go anywhere you want right when you're done with that plateau area. If you want, you can just head to Hyrule Castle and beat the game. It won't be easy, but I mean, hey, you can do it. People have definitely done it. I know y'all seen them speed runs. It's cause look, your overall objective is to defeat Ganon. Everything else is optional. The Divine Beast? Fuck them. The shrines? Fuck them. Link's memories? Fuck them. I just want to fly and be cool. The map is filled with just so much. The overall environment is diverse. Literally anything can happen. Now, of course, there has to be a reason to explore, and trust me, there is. You can look for those big ass towers that uncover a good chunk of the map. I like doing these because they give you like an overall view of your area, and you can even see certain shrines or like points of interest. I don't know. It's a good way. It's a good way to make you want to explore. Enemy camps are spread out throughout the whole map. The enemies can vary in difficulty depending on where you are. The way you handle one of these camps is also unique. You can go in and just, do regular combat, or you can find dumb ways to take them out. Speaking of dumb, the bokoblins are downright stupid. And I love it. The enemy AI is actually pretty good. They play a big part in making the world really feel lived in. Honestly, everything in this game makes the world feel lived in, and it's actually pretty impressive. The way you can find and tame horses is pretty cool. You can also find other explorers, which makes sense. I mean, why wouldn't there be other people like scavenging old ruins and shit? They kind of suck though. They always getting beat up. For the most part, the map is open wilderness, but there are some towns to explore. The main four being the Zora Place, the Gerudo Place, the Bird People Place, and Goron City. In my opinion, the Zora Place is kind of like the best spot. It's the only one that feels like an important place. I get that Calamity Ganon kind of like fucked up everything, so it makes sense that these places wouldn't be as grand as they once were, but I don't care. I'ma still have my opinion. These four towns need to be bigger. They got all the essentials though, like they got a clothes shop, arrow shop, and a food shop. The Zora Place don't have a clothes shop though, cause like they're all naked. I do like that they all feel different and unique. It really does feel like they all have their own lifestyles and like their different cultures. The Zora Place looks like it stinks. Nah, it's just everything is wet and they're like fish people, so yeah. The layout is unique. Not sure where everyone lives though. And the water? I don't know. I just can't imagine the architect showing this to the king and then the king's like, hell yeah, that looks convenient. I don't know, I just feel like for the Zora Place and for the game in general, have a little more underwater, exploration. That'd be kind of cool, because, I mean, there's Zora people. I don't know why. Maybe the rest of the town's in the water. I don't know. The Gorons, they chillin' though. Sure, it's not a good place for humans, but who gives a fuck? It's home to the Gorons. So these guys live next to a damn volcano. See, I have to wear these special clothes, but this fucking chick can just walk around looking like that. I mean, I get she's from the desert, but damn, it's like 1,000,000 degrees out here. The overall look is okay. The lava is pretty cool. The Gerudo place, though, is kinda whack. I don't know, it's just a regular ass desert village. I mean, the desert environment, it's never really that interesting. Like, ever. It's just sand. These seals are cool as fuck, though. Makes desert travel super fun. The bird place looks like the weather would feel great. A nice, fresh, breezy day. Like, I think they chose the best spot comfort-wise. They structured their town around a mountain, which, I mean, makes sense, you know. They're all birds. Their town is a little small, though. Like, what's the overall population of Hyrule? 100? Calamity dumbass really did fuck up everything, huh? So those are the main towns. There are smaller ones like Kakariko, but, yeah, I don't know where I was going with this. When exploring, you can find random ass treasure. This can range from a rock to a weapon. And clothes. You can find clothes too. Yeah, so Link can dress differently now. That's another big change from the norm. There's some cool outfits, but I don't know. I miss the OG tunic. But it's okay, because I used the Ocarina of Time amiibo to get that classic Link outfit. I'm sorry, look, I had to. That outfit mixed with the Master Sword and Hylian Shield, hell yeah. Now this feels like Zelda. Now, in all honesty, I do feel like the different weapons and outfits you can find is a plus. Zelda started out as an adventure game, and I feel like all of this adds to that adventure. I think some of the 3D Zeldas were starting to forget about the exploration aspect, you know? So I'm glad Breath of the Wild brought the franchise back to its roots. Now this last section is where I start to have mixed feelings about this game. So far, everything I talked about, I got some enjoyment out of. But I have mixed feelings about this game's replacement of the traditional temples and dungeons, the shrines and the divine beasts. Now, when I say mixed feelings, I mean that, because honestly, I like the shrines and the divine beasts, but I just don't think they're a worthy replacement of the OG temples. So shrines are little bite-sized puzzles that are a good addition to the game. Completing these allows you to upgrade either your health or your stamina, which is a perfect way to get you to want to find and complete these shrines. The shrines come in 3 different styles: a mini puzzle inside, a mini puzzle to find them, and a combat one. My favorite shrines are the one with the puzzles inside. I don't know, when I find a combat one, I'm kind of disappointed. A big part of why I like Zelda games was because of the puzzles, and since the shrines are the main way to experience those puzzles, I get annoyed when I just find a combat one or a test of strength or whatever. They do give you some good weapons though. I mean, they do break after like one fucking combo, but it's whatever. The fact is, bite-sized puzzles, it's not scratching that itch for me, you know what I mean? I feel like these puzzles are too simple. I already know someone's gonna say, if you want something like the classic temples, we have the divine beast. Yeah, no, those don't scratch the itch for me either. They're like a bigger shrine, same atmosphere and everything. Yeah, that's one of my bigger complaints. See, back in the older Zeldas, they nailed the atmosphere. The music, theme, and the history behind the temples added to the overall immersion. Now with the Divine Beast, they do give a good history and a good reason to want to take them back from the power of Calamity Ganon. These Divine Beasts are designed really good, and they have some fun and unique puzzles. They're a little on the short side though. Plus, there's only like 4 of them, so yeah. But yeah, I like the shrines and, you know, the Divine Beast. I just don't think they're a good replacement. I get it though. This isn't supposed to be like the old Zelda games. If it was trying to be that, I don't think it would have, you know, revolutionized the whole genre. See, when I first played this game, I couldn't see that. I was blinded by nostalgia. But now, you know, I'm older. I realize that sometimes you gotta switch things up. You can't let the past hold you from your future. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to ignore your past. but learn from it. Take the bad and improve upon it. Take the good and expand on it. Don't get caught in the trap known as nostalgia. Anyway, I think that about covers everything I want to talk about. That whole nostalgia part wasn't just for shits and giggles. I actually was blinded by nostalgia. But this time around, I can say I like this game. It's nowhere near being my favorite Zelda game, but it's a good game. I kinda want Tears of the Kingdom now. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna pick it up one day. I mean, like I said, Zelda's my second favorite, so I kinda have to get it, you know? But anyway, I'm done. I'm out of here.